Hey guys, Sirius here. Finally, after 2 days, my Dawn of the Hunt patch update was ready and I started to play the game. But my connection was so terrible, my ping would just skyrocket out of nowhere. And the third day of the league, I wasn't even done with the first act because the ping was so high, I couldn't even get through one zone without disconnecting or dying. Eventually I fixed it and I started playing Lich. Now, don't get me wrong, Lich is fine, Chaos Dot is great, but it's not for me. I realized that after I got done with the campaign. The progression was slow, the maps were taking quite some time to complete, and I knew that I did not want to continue like this. So here we are, around 2 days for the update, another day and a half for my campaign with the Lich, and I had nothing to show for it. I was not happy with the character. I wanted to change. But the benefit of starting late is that a lot of people that have tested stuff already and you already know what's good and what's not. So I took my ass to YouTube and checked out what people were doing. So I stumbled on this beauty right here, the Lightning Spear Amazon, and to tell you, it's amazing how much damage and clear speed this build has without a lot of investment in it. And with my connection fixed, I was able to run through the campaign with this new character in about 18 to 20 hours with no single death, and I was able to grab my first 2 Ascendancies without any problem. As of now, I have almost all my Atlas points. I am at tier 14 maps, and I have cleared some of the unique maps, the ones I found anyway. I have grabbed all my Ascendancy points. I am at level 86. Even bossing is no problem with this build. It has so much damage, it's fast, and it's so fun to play. Now it's a video without some highlights. I have some more of those, but sadly these are the only ones that I caught while I was recording. Now to talk about the build, I just mixed and matched some stuff from other guides and some from my personal experience. Now we have to start with the Ascendancy in order to understand how this build works. We need to start with these 2 nodes right here. Critical Strike makes that stacking overcapped accuracy, allows us to also stack Critical Strike Chance, and this node right here, which makes all of the accuracy on our weapon contribute to its physical damage. And finally this node right here, Elemental Infusion, which consume Frenzy Charge to increase our damage. So the key points in this build are stacking Frenzy Charges for more damage, accuracy for more damage, and Critical Strike Chance. And we'll get a lot of critical damage bonus from our tree, and maybe some on the gear. Now this node is nice to have. I recommend you take it lastly. It makes that enemies at a certain point of their life bar will have a weakness. You will deal more damage to them. This is nice to have, but take it at the end. Now before starting with anything, let's go over how we're generating our frenzy charges. We have these unique gloves right here, Kitoko's Current. In the last line, lightning damage from hits contribute to electrocution buildup, and in combination with combat frenzy, that allows us to gain a frenzy charge when we electrocute an enemy. This is how we'll be gaining our frenzy charges to feed our infused weapon, our lightning spear, and our storm lance, because all of these abilities, even our barrage, because all of these abilities consume frenzy charges. Now it's very important to quality your combat frenzy for a 20% chance to gain an additional frenzy charge. Now let's talk about the gems and the gem links. For our infused weapon, we'll be linking to that magnified effect, concentrated effect, blind, and elemental focus. Now for our lightning spear, this is our main map clearing ability. We'll be linking that to bullseye for more accuracy, thus more critical strike and more damage. Volt makes that we gain volt charges as we travel, and we will consume them when we fire a lightning spear. This is obviously an enormous amount because it has a 5% of damage as extra lightning damage per 10 voltaic charges consumed. Now deliberation, this is completely optional. You can use something else in here, like ambush. If you're not using a Roa, you might get a little slowed from this gem, so if you're using a Roa mount, this will be fine. If not, you can use ambush at its place. And finally, perpetual charge for a chance not to consume or frenzy charges when you use this skill. Now you'll be using Stormblast mainly on bosses or on hard enemies. We'll be linking that to primal armament for more damage, lightning infusion more damage, scatter shot, and overextend for more damage. Now barrage, this is actually a small buff you can apply to your next attack. It might be storm lance or lightning spear. This has a cooldown. We'll be linking that to ingenuity for less cooldown, free meditation for more damage, and murderous intent for culling strike. Now what barrage does is when you charge your next attack, it acts like you're firing this attack 3 times at once. As a demonstration, this is lightning spear without barrage. You can see it's only one. And when you buff it, you can see that it fires more than one. Now to continue, Herald of Thunder will help us insanely with clear. We'll be linking that with Longshot for more screen clear, Innervate for more damage, Execute to kill enemies faster that are on low life, and Reach for more area of effect. So these 2 gems right here will help us clear screens away. Now the Roa mount, this is a very nice quality of life. It helps us move fast and clear maps faster, but it's not mandatory. You can use, instead of the Roa, Wind Dancer for more tankiness. You can link it with Clarity for mana regen, Pin, and Maim. But if you want to use the Roa mount, you can link that with Minion Mastery, Loyalty for more life, and Meat Shield for more tankiness. Now you need to be careful when you're mapping. As you take hits, the stun meter will build up right here, and when it's completely full and you get hit, you'll fall down off your Roa, and it will take you some time to get back up. By that time you might die. So what I suggest is when you see your meter reaching full, just dodge, you'll dismount, and then when you clear what's ahead of you, you can just remount, and then the bar will reset. Now Combat Frenzy, as I explained before, this will generate our frenzy charges. We'll be linking that with Profusion for 50% a chance to get more charges, Cannibalism for recovery on kill, and Precision for more accuracy. Now Sniper's Mark, this is a skill to use on bosses and very tanky rares. We'll be linking that with Inspiration for less cost, and Arcane Tempo to cast it faster. And finally, Orb of Storms, I have it on my weapon swap. This is not mandatory. Sometimes I like to put it on very tanky bosses. I will explain just a second why it's on our weapon swap. We'll be linking that with Stripwave for more effect, lightning exposure, and persistence. Now as to why I have it on my weapon swap, because I'm using this Effigy of Cruelty right here. For the line, critical hits with spells, apply stacks of critical weakness. Now when you put the Orb of Storm and then you swap back, the effect of the shield will have applied and the boss will have critical weakness debuff. Now careful to say, you cannot use your Orb of Storms while you are mounted on the Roa. You're gonna have to dismount to apply it. Now just before we get to the gear, I'd like to show you my character sheet. This is very early. I have not invested a lot yet in the build. We're looking at 65% evasion, 35% block, almost capped resistances. This is 2% off, it's fine, and 27% chaos resistance. We have around 2k life and just some energy shield. This is what our attributes are looking. We have some strength and some intelligence to be able to handle our spear. Now let's get to the gear. For the variant of this build, I'll be using only pure evasion gear, and I will be transitioning to a hybrid energy shield and evasion later on with more investment to make this build more tanky, because as it is right now, it's kind of squishy. But it does not really matter because we kill everything so fast, nothing really hits us. Let's first talk about the uniques. None of those uniques are mandatory. You can drop Kitoko's Current and put Electrocute on your Herald of Thunder, but I found that this is not really reliable for generating frenzied charges. So the best in slot is the Kitoko's Current gloves. We've talked about them. Now the shield is very important. For the line, accuracy rating is doubled. This is the best in slot shield for any Amazon build, unless you're stacking a lot of auras. Maybe you want to use cast on shock, cast on crit, then you might want to use a scepter for more spirit. This might be an endgame variant of mine. but we'll see later on. Now for everything else, I just worked on capping my resistances, getting some life. Movement speed on the boots is very important. Just some chaos resistance. Now all of these are self-farmed and crafted. The only thing that I bought is this shield and this spear. I have some flat damage on my rings, some elemental resistance. Here also some flat damage, some elemental resistance. As for the amulet, I have it with spirit in order to maintain everything that we run. As for the body armor, try to get one with as high evasion as possible. And finally our spear. This is very important. You want to be using a sea glass spear base, because this, out of all the spears, has the best critical hit chance base. It starts at 10%. Now what you're looking for is maybe a critical strike chance modifier to multiply this. And this will be multiplied further by our tree and the amount of accuracy that we're stacking. Of course, some flat damage or percentage damage, but the most important thing is accuracy. As you can see, I have a very high amount of accuracy on this spear. I bought it for 2 divines, and as for the rune, it's mandatory to be using an accuracy rune, because flat accuracy is much better than flat physical damage. As for the charms, I'm using a freeze charm and a stun charm. Now this is how much critical strike chance we have so far. Now obviously this is not typically 100%. This is maybe a bit lower, but as we stack we'll be close to the 100% cap. Now as for the tree, I already talked about the ascendancy. We're going to start by pathing, taking these accuracy node right here, pathing to the cluster accuracy, some critical, some evasion, a jewel here that grants more accuracy, some shock magnitude. I haven't really worked on my jewels yet. Some elemental damage, pathing down here to some skill speed and some more accuracy. And here we're going to be taking all this spear cluster. This has critical damage and flat damage and attack speed. We're going to be taking this small cluster of herald for more damage. This is very important for electrocution. We have to take these nodes, and this one right here makes that electrocuted enemies take 20% more damage. We'll be taking the critical cluster right here and some defenses right here, and this one is very important because it doubles the evasion we have from our body armor. Another jewel with accuracy, some critical damage bonus and some projectile damage. Pathing up, now I've taken this critical cluster. I don't know if I should keep it. I'll just test stuff out and see if it should stay or no. Pathing down here, this is a very nice critical cluster. I suggest you go for this before this one. And finally I'm pathing here for another critical cluster, and this jewel with more accuracy rating. Now ideally you would want jewels with critical bonus and critical strike chance. Now as for my goals, I first want to finish the atlas, get all my points, then I want to focus on the tree again. I want to go with a hybrid energy shield and evasion build because it's more tanky. We might consider taking these nodes right here. Those give us a lot of energy shield and evasion, especially this node if we have a lot of evasion on our body armor, and maybe get a pure energy shield helmet because of this node, subterfuge mask, plus 2 evasion per 1 maximum energy shield. I almost forgot, I have anointed vulgar methods on my amulet. This is somehow of a cheap anoint, it doesn't cost a lot, and it gives us more critical strike chance and some strength. And I think ideally I will end up dropping these nodes for more points. I will spec them right here to be able to get some energy shield and evasion nodes right here. Of course this is not the endgame setup. I will continue testing it out to make it more damage valuable and more tanky. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it somewhat helpful. Now as the current state of Path of Exile 2, I found that with the numerous updates that it has gotten since the launch of the patch, it's gotten a lot better. And some more updates will be coming, some good quality of life. Now I have not gotten into the end game to fight the pinnacle bosses. I will be doing that later on and I will give you my opinion. As always, if there's anything, leave it in the comments. I try to answer everything. Like if you like, subscribe if you want, and thank you for watching.